In today's shoulder and arm routine, we will be using weight. So grab anywhere between 1 and 3 pounds. I'm going to grab my 3 pounds and let's just start with one weight. We're going to do one arm at a time so that we can really focus on the muscles and the movement that we're doing. So go ahead and grab one weight. Like I said, I'm starting with 3 pounds. You can do 1 pound. And if you choose to, you can do this video without weights as well. But we're going to place that weight in our right palm, make a 90-degree angle with your arm, roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Take your opposite hand and just place it on the front of your shoulder, and let's start with external rotation. So we truly want to get rotation in the arm bone, in the shoulder cuff, right? So the shoulder blade isn't really moving on our back. It's happening from the rotation, the twisting of our arm bone inside of our shoulder cuff. So think about if you were to be up against an imaginary wall, your shoulder blade really wouldn't be moving. It wouldn't be squeezing in, pinching your spine. It's just nice and flat on that imaginary wall. And as you can see, I'm kneeling. I'm not standing. I like to do arm work kneeling because it puts us into a better position with our spine and pelvis. Sometimes when we stand, we can tend to lean towards one side, one hip, one leg, or maybe round or slouch our spine. So I really like kneeling. So back to the arm, you should be able to feel with your opposite hand resting on the front of your shoulder, that rotation that's happening inside of your shoulder cuff. And if you're not feeling that, if you're feeling more in the back of the body, the shoulder blade, I want you to bring your elbow a little bit forward of your shirt seam. So if I turn to the side, you'll see that my elbow isn't behind my body, it's a little bit forward, and then we twist from there. Right, so the elbow stays a little bit forward so you can truly get that rotation of that arm bone. And feel when you twist that weight backwards, the inner side of the elbow is twisting forward. So just feel that opposition. Look at your wrist, make sure that you're not death gripping the weight, right? Your palm is light, it's open. And make sure that your wrist is straight. So I don't want the weight hanging down here with the wrist, if you can see. I want that wrist to be nice and straight. And let's just do 2 more. Good, and just feel how the chest opens as you rotate. And then release, switch sides. Left hand holds onto the weight, opposite hand just holds onto the front of the shoulder just so you can feel that rotation. And remember, each side is different. So just notice in your own body if you feel like this side has more range of motion. Maybe it's a little bit stronger, or maybe it tends to get stuck at a certain point. Another thing too is we don't have to keep our elbow right into our side. It doesn't have to pinch into our body. It can be a little bit outside of our body, a little bit of space between your elbow and your waistline. As long as the elbow is beneath the armpit, beneath the shoulder, right? And again, it's not behind us. It's a little bit forward of our shirt seam. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see that again on this side. So it's not back here if you can look at me. It's forward of the shirt seam, and just notice when you move that elbow forward how that arm bone just kind of sets back into your shoulder cuff, opening up, twisting, and back in. And being that we're on our knees, like I said, we get into better posture here for the most part. Give a little squeeze of your sit bones, just a tiny little pinch, just turn them on, and then think of the low belly and zip it up. Feel like you have a zipper right in the front of your pants, and you're going to scoop and zip up that tight zipper every time that you open. Let's exhale to twist the arm bone, inhale in. And just check in with your body, make sure that you're not tensing in your neck, melting the shoulders down your back the whole time, just like a waterfall, continuously falling down the back of your ribs, just melting towards your back pockets. Let's do 2 more. Nice little twist open and just feel that rotation. Check with your wrist, make sure that you're not letting the wrist bend, you're not letting the weight take it, and then rest all the way down. Give yourself a big shoulder roll. Place that weight back into your right hand. Palm is going to face inwards, so top of the weight to the sky, right? Bend your elbow back to that 90-degree. Place your opposite hand on the front of your shoulder again, just so you can feel that shoulder cuff. You're going to push your palm forward like you're scooping it just 2 inches, and then back down. And push like your palm is pressing the weight kind of forward and up to the sky and down. So see me on the side view, I'm going to dig down and up. And I want you to think of your elbow digging down to the dirt and up. So it's a swoosh or a swoop, digging down and up. And feel how that responds up in your shoulder cuff, right? That arm bone is just kind of carving out the shoulder cuff. It's rotating back. Finding that little glute pinch like I talked about, finding that zipper in front, pull the belly in, stay nice and tall, chest is wide, shoulders are open and back and down. Push at that little swoop. Let's do 5 more. Push from your palm, like your palm is pushing the weight up to the sky, just a couple inches, don't overdo it. Exhale, push into it and release. Let's do 3 more. Feel that head of the arm bone just melt back and down. Last 2. One more time. Push down and up. And then release. Other side. Left hand holds on. Right hand holds on to the front of the shoulder. And feel those fingertips push your shoulder back as the palm presses forward and up. Push that arm bone back. So feel that rotation. We're still rotating. It's just a different type of rotation, right? We're not twisting laterally and medially anymore. We're pushing forward and letting that arm bone just kind of rotate back into the shoulder cuff. And use your opposite hand, the opposite fingertips, to help guide the arm bone back and down. Your elbow pulls forward and up. Good. Think of that teeter-totter analogy. As the elbow lifts, the shoulder melts down. So we have a nice long neck. Push it forward and up. And again, I'll show you the side view. Nice and tall. Exhale, push that arm bone forward and up. Like your elbow is digging down into the dirt and up to the sky. Very small. Exhale, push for 5. Inhale. As you push forward and up, feel that shoulder melt down your back, just like that waterfall. Last 3. Inhale down. Exhale, push forward and up. 2. Inhale down. One more time. Push forward and up. And then release all the way down. Give yourself a big shoulder roll. Place that weight back into the right hand. Light grip. Elbows still bent at that 90 degree, right? We're just going to simply open the arm out, stay at that 90 degree, and pull it back down. Take that opposite hand, place it on top of your shoulder. Feel the shoulder melt down as the arm bone lifts up. So we're not lifting, I'll show you the wrong way. We're not lifting from the shoulder to the ear, right? See how my neck just shrunk? I'll do that one more time the wrong way. The shoulder doesn't start the movement. I want you to open the elbow out and melt the shoulder down, getting this length in the side of your neck, and then back in. So if your fingertips, opposite fingertips are resting on your shoulder, just give a little melt down. Don't push it down. Don't jam it down. It's just a little melt down so you keep this constant T at your shoulders, right? And down. Let's do 5 more. Lifting that elbow up like you're going to stretch it to the side wall. Feel like you're stretching your arm bone out of the shoulder cup. Really reach through that elbow. Last 3, keeping that 90 degree angle. Last 2, it's going right to the side of the body, not forward, not back with that elbow. One more time. Reach it up and all the way back down. Switch hands. Left hand holds on, right fingertips come to the shoulder, just as a little reminder to melt the shoulder down as your elbow lifts, right? We're not jamming the shoulder down our back, we're just melting it down like a waterfall. And feel that left arm bone stretch out of your shoulder cuff, like it's gonna touch the sidewall. You're scraping the sidewall with your elbow. Remember, we wanna get space in that shoulder cuff. We don't wanna jam. So really feel like that arm bone is sliding away from your body towards the sidewall. Exhale, melting the shoulder down as you open. Think of zipping up that waistline. Little glute pinch, just turn the seat on just a little bit just to hold that posture. Let's do 5 more. Exhale to open. Inhale it down. 4 more. Exhale it open. Inhale it down. Last 3. Inhale it down. 2 more times. Scrape that elbow to the sidewall. Stretch it out. 1 more time. Reach. Stretch it out. And all the way back down. Let's transfer to the other hand again. Right hand holds on to that weight. This time we're going to push forward like we did earlier, but go up a little bit higher. So we're pushing the weight forward with our palm, coming all the way up, seeing if we can straighten the arm. Don't lock it, but just straighten it at the top, and then bend the elbow back down. So everybody's range of motion is different. If this hurts when you get to a certain level of lifting, don't go that high. Right? Just take your time, come back to the video at any time, and just keep working on your range of motion, but don't push past pain. And once you feel the pain the first time, you know where to not go to, right? So just lift as high as you can without pain. And I want you to think of your upper arm bone as being a flashlight. The head of the flashlight is facing up to the ceiling right now. As you lift your arm bone up, the head of the flashlight rotates and shines down to the floor. You bend your elbow, head of the flashlight shines up to your ear. You straighten the arm up to the sky, head of the flashlight shines down to the floor, down to your hip. So feel that rotation. We're not lifting from the shoulder, right? We're lifting from the rotation of your arm bone, just carving out that shoulder cuff. So I want you to think of the pushing forward with your elbow and palm and then diving it up to the sky and bend it back down. Good, do that again. Push the elbow down and up like you're scooping it and send that weight to the sky. Inhale back down. Let's do 4 more. Dig the elbow down. Feel how the shoulder follows it and swoosh it up and back down. A nice light, relaxed feeling of that shoulder just gliding down the back of your ribs. And inhale it back down. Let's do 2 more times. From the elbow, dive it down, forward, and swoosh the weight up. Inhale down. 1 more time, just getting a nice fluid range of motion in that shoulder cuff. And all the way down. Other side, left hand holds on. And remember, you're going to be a light grip on that weight. You're going to swoosh it forward and all the way up. And just notice a difference if you have one between sides. Maybe this side is a little more free. Maybe it feels a little bit more stuck. Just listen to your body and go to the point where you don't feel any pain and you feel like you can do this very efficiently, very smoothly. Dig the elbow down, swoosh it up. Good. So we're not just locking the elbow joint. Let me show you the wrong way. We're not just pushing it up, right? We're not using just that powerful force. We're swooshing it forward and up. So like we're drawing an arc with that weight, or like a rainbow ahead of us, right? Swoosh it forward and up. And I'm going to show you the side view. Maybe that will help a little bit. So we push the weight forward and then swoosh it up and then bend the elbow back down, because ultimately we want you to carve out the shoulder cuff with that upper arm bone. The head of the arm bone is right here. Remember, we want to rotate it back, carving it out. And I always like to give the analogy of a watermelon ball. Right? When we're trying to use that utensil in the kitchen to make little watermelon balls, think of your arm bone being that utensil. You're going to carve out the shoulder cuff, making little watermelon balls. Do that 4 more times, forward and up. Inhale it back down. Melt the shoulder down, rotate that arm bone, float up. Relax your grip on that weight. Exhale, last 2. Inhale it down. 1 more time. Exhale, swoosh it up. And inhale it down and rest. Shake out the shoulders. Good. Now we're going to come on to our hands and knees, do a little bit of tricep work. So go ahead and come down with that one weight on your hands and knees. Pull the belly in tight. So I don't want you hanging the belly to the ground. If you notice, this is the wrong way. And I also don't want you rounding your back here. That's wrong as well. Just come to a neutral spine. Pull the ribs in. Pull the belly in. We're going to reach that right arm back behind you, just by your side. Now look at that left arm. I'm going to show you the wrong way for the left arm as well. I don't want the left arm to be way ahead of your body. See that? That's a lot of strain on our neck and shoulder. I literally want the left arm to be underneath your shoulder. Now soften the left elbow so we don't lock it. Right arm by your side. Bend the right elbow and straighten it back. Real simple. Bend the right elbow and straighten it back. So we're just getting in a little bit of triceps, and I'm keeping it pretty simple so that we don't lose our form, right? So the exercise itself isn't very complex, but I want you to look at my shoulder blades right now, and I'm going to show you the wrong way for this setup. I don't want you to sink your chest down. Notice how I'm sinking into my left shoulder. Now watch as I push into my left palm, the palm that's on the ground, lifting myself back up. So my back is broad, my chest is broad. I'm in a nice tabletop position. Let's just do 5 more. It's actually not very hard on the tricep. It's more of a challenge on the core and on that stabilizing arm. Press back for 3. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press back 2. Inhale, bend. 1 more time. Press back and bend and down. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Left hand holds on. Again, I'm going to show you both ways. Wrong way is to have your right hand way out ahead of you. Okay, so that stabilizing arm, the hand has to be right underneath your shoulder. And then now again, I don't want you to slouch your chest down, right? Suck your ribs right into your shoulder blades. Now from there, pull the belly in tight, left arm back behind you. You're going to bend your left elbow and straighten it back. Good. Now again, if you can see my elbow, my right elbow, the one that's holding me, I don't want to lock it out. So if the inside of my elbow is pushing forward and hyperextending forward, that is very hard on the joint, which also leads to shoulder and neck tension, right? So soften the elbow a little bit and see how it just kind of twists and rotates that arm bone in. Feel how you now have more stabilization of your shoulder blade. So keep the elbow soft, keep the shoulder down from your ear. We're just doing some tricep extensions on that left side, pinching the tricep. And again, it's not very hard for the tricep. It's more of a challenge for holding yourself there with that bottom right arm and your core. Lengthen your neck. Pull the front of the ribs tight. Pull the low belly tight. And let's be here for 4 more. Stretching it back and bend. Keeping the chest open. Think of that left shoulder blade rolling back and down. Let's do 2 more. Stretch it back. Inhale, bend. 1 more time. Stretch it back. Inhale, bend, and rest that weight down. Go ahead and come all the way up. Shake out your wrists. Right? You can do a little stretch. Fists and open. Do that one more time. Fist and open. Shake out the shoulders. Go ahead and grab that one weight again. We're going to do that again now. Now from here, we're going to open our straight arm out to the side. So it's a little bit more of a challenge holding your arm straight. The lever is longer, right? And so what we tend to do when we get tired, when the lever is longer and the weight is at the end of it, we tend to overdo our shoulders and neck. See, as I lift, I'm going to do it the wrong way and lift my shoulder up to my ear. That puts a lot of tension in my middle back and traps and neck. So as you lift that arm bone up, melt the shoulder down. And if it helps you to put your opposite hand on your shoulder as a reminder, go for it. That's just fine. So do what you need to do to give yourself that reminder, that gentle reminder to just melt the shoulder blade down your back as you lift that straight arm up. And if it gets too intense for you, if the shoulder is hurting a little bit or your neck is hurting, just go ahead and bend that elbow and go back to the opening and closing that we did in the beginning with the bent elbow, right? So we're just testing you and seeing if you can do the straight arm without neck tension or shoulder tension, and you know where to go if you can't, right? You can always drop the weight down and you can always bend the elbow. Let's do 3 more. As you do this, feel how your core has to stabilize you, because we're doing one arm, right? Sometimes it shifts us over the other direction. So try to keep your body really nice and still with your core. 1 more time. And then bring that arm back down. Switch sides. Left hand holds on. Opening out and down. And again, notice in your own body. Do you change the positioning of your body with this arm? Maybe on the other arm you were nice and neutral and nice and stable and no problem, and now this arm you tend to shift a little bit more to counterbalance, or maybe you rotated your hips or rotated your pelvis. Just notice the rest of the body, what your tendencies are. And as you lift that arm, keep that wrist straight. So don't let the weight hang the wrist down, right? Keep the elbow straight but not locked, and feel how the shoulder can melt down as the arm lifts up. And we're still trying to get that rotation in that shoulder cuff. It sounds kind of goofy to think that we're rotating here, but we truly are. So that arm bone is just kind of twisting inside of that shoulder cuff. So when the arm bone is down at our sides, the head of the flashlight shines up to the ceiling. When the arm bone is out to our sides, the head of the flashlight shines into our heart. So just notice that and feel that, how you're carving out the inside of that shoulder cuff. We want that to happen, right? We want that movement, that differentiation between the arm bone and the shoulder socket. Let's do 1 more. Open out and back down. Now switch it back to your right arm. We're going to reach the right arm forward of the body and then right back down. Same thing. We're carving out that shoulder cuff. So make sure that you feel that rotation happening. So when the arm bone is down, the head of the flashlight is shining up. When the arm bone is up, the head of the flashlight is shining back to the wall behind us. Pulling up with an exhale, lowering with an inhale. Exhale it forward, inhale it down, carving the back of that shoulder cuff. And so when you're here lifting forward, make sure that the arm bone and the shoulder blade doesn't round forward. Okay, so roll that shoulder back. Truly get that arm bone to reach to the back of the body, the back of the shoulder blade, right? Carve it out. Sometimes when we have the weight ahead of us, we tend to curl and reach forward. Okay, so just roll that shoulder back and down. Keep that chest nice and open, nice and broad. Let's do 2 more. Elbow is soft, never locked, remember. and then all the way down, left hand holds the weight. Go ahead and lift that left arm up and all the way down. You only have to go shoulder height. I know we can probably go further, but we don't have to. Let's just do shoulder height for now because we're really focusing on form. And sometimes when we go overhead, we tend to crink the neck, right? We want to just focus on nice proper form, building those muscles, those smaller muscles of the shoulder cuff, pulling the belly in. So think about your stabilizers, the low belly, zip it up, little glute pinch. Nothing like a death squeeze, just turn it on, that's all I ask. Exhale, nice soft grip, soft wrist, but it's a straight wrist. Shoulder melts down. Just reaching right in front of you, let's do 4. Inhale it down, making sure that you're not twisting the spine, you're not leaning backwards, you're staying nice and stable, just like a building. Do 1 more, and all the way back down. Give yourself a big shoulder roll. Now getting into some triceps, we're going to be kneeling again for this one instead of being on our hands and knees. Bring your right hand in front of you. You're going to make a 90-degree angle from here. Left hand, sorry, is going to be right underneath you. It's just kind of holding this position, this 90-degree here, and then 90-degree on our left arm as well. So we're kind of 90-90 all around. So it's going to be a little bicep as well, but this is really about shoulder stabilization. You're going to extend tricep and then bend bicep, right? So it's not a ton of work in the tricep and bicep, but like I said, it's going to be more about shoulders because as we hold our arms out here longer, it's going to start to get heavier for our neck and shoulders. So eventually you might start to feel the shoulders creep up like I'm doing right now. I want you to melt the shoulders down and only do enough reps that you can keep the shoulders down and relaxed. Maybe you lighten the weight or get rid of it altogether, but can you keep this 90-degree bend and both arms, right? So think of all those little 90-degree angles that you're drawing with the arms. And let's just be here for 4. Just think of that shoulder stabilization. Feel the belly pull in. 3. Inhale. Exhale, pull it in. 2. Inhale. Exhale, pull it in. 1 and hold. Now reach your arm all the way up to the sky if you can. Same 90-degree angle. You're going to bend it back behind you and straighten it to the ceiling. Bend it back behind you and straighten it up. So you're bending to that 90-degree and pressing it straight back up to the sky. So this is a pretty big shoulder range of motion, right? If it doesn't feel right to keep your arm overhead like this, you can just come back to that exercise that we just did with the arms forward. But we're going to try to tap into that tricep a little bit more. Keep the head of the flashlight, the head of the arm bone shining down to the ground. So feel that rotation. Stretch it up. 4. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch it up. 3. Inhale, bend. Exhale, stretch it up. 2. 1 more time. Keep that neck long and rest. Come all the way down. Other side. So left hand holds on to the weight. Left elbow is forward of your chest. Place your right hand right underneath the elbow, just kind of as a little guide. And then both arms are at that 90-degree. You straighten that left arm out and you bend it back in. You straighten it out and bend it back in. So that right arm is just there as support for that left elbow, but just be sure that the shoulders don't hike up. So I'll show you the wrong way. We don't want the shoulders here, we want the shoulders here. And it's about shoulder stabilization, right? You can get rid of that weight if you need to. A little bit of bicep, a little bit of tricep. It's not very hard on the bigger muscles. It's more of a challenge in the smaller shoulder stabilizers. Inhale to reach out and exhale it up. Inhale, stretch 5. Exhale, pull it in. Remember, we never lock the elbow, so don't let that weight carry your arm so much that you hyperextend that left elbow. Have control. Never let go of those muscles. Let's do 2. Inhale out. 1 more time. Hold. Rest that right arm by your side. We're going to reach that left arm up for more triceps. Bend the elbow and straighten up to the sky. Inhale to bend, exhale it up. So your upper arm doesn't move. The upper arm stays where it's at right when you get there, right? So the elbow points to the sky, the elbow and upper arm stays. You're just straightening that arm. So feel that tricep stretch. Inhale, bend, exhale, press up to the ceiling. Now feel that upper arm bone melt down into the shoulder cuff. So the upper arm bone, the head of it, the head of the flashlight is shining down to the floor. Let's press up 5. Inhale to bend, exhale, press up 4. Zip up that low belly. Find your glutes, hold on to them. Inhale, bend, exhale, press up 2. Inhale, exhale, press up 1. Bend that elbow, give yourself a big shoulder roll and rest. Good, so now coming back to just one arm, so switching that weight back to the right hand, we're going to open that arm forward ahead of us. So it's now horizontal to the ground, so parallel to the ground. We're holding it, more shoulder work, right? So get rid of the weight or go lighter if you need to. But that arm is going to rest on an imaginary tabletop. You're going to sweep the arm out to the side, open the chest, and then pull it back in. We're just sliding on that tabletop. So again, we have a longer lever. If you need to, soften the elbow a little bit, right? You can do this with a 90-degree bend, and that makes that lever shorter. Ultimately, you want to think of that upper arm sweeping out and sweeping in. Your shoulder blade can move on your back, right? Allow it to have freedom to move. We're not going to hold it strong tight the whole time, but no scrunching of the shoulder blade. So I don't want you to tighten the middle and upper back, no scrunching, right? You're just opening that arm straight out to the side, holding that light weight. And if you need to, drop it down, go lighter, or get rid of it all together. Inhale out, exhale in. Can you keep your upper body nice and still like a building? Inhale out, exhale, pull it back, and we're just going to be here for 3 more. It's about shoulder stabilization, so just make sure that you're not creeping that shoulder up to your ear. 2 more. Inhale out, exhale, pull back in. 1 more time. Inhale, open, exhale, pull back in. Rest that arm down. Left hand holds on. Reach it out in front of your chest, open it out, it's horizontal, parallel to the ground, and pull it back in. Allow the shoulder blade to move, just don't let it creep up to your ears, right? So keep the shoulders melting down. You'll feel a little bit of lats here. And as you open the arm, the shoulder blade will ultimately slide in towards your spine, but not pinch, right? So try not to pinch the back. Just allow that movement to happen nice and freely, like you're just sweeping open a door on that hinge. And then back in. Let's do 5 more. Inhale to open. Exhale, use your core to close. Feel those upper abdominals right by your ribs. Knit the ribs to close. 3 more times. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Last 2. Inhale, open. Exhale to close. 1 more time. Inhale, open, and exhale to close. Bend that elbow. Place that weight back in your right arm. You're going to bend your right elbow right to your side. Weight faces forward. From here, reach that arm straight out and feel how the shoulder melts, and then bend it back in. Feel that rotation. That shoulder melts down. The arm bone kind of swivels inside that shoulder cuff, and you bend. Reach out, stretch like your fingertips are going to touch that side wall longer, and then bend. So we want to get super long with that arm, not by hyperextending and locking the elbow, but by stretching that upper arm out of that shoulder cuff. Really stretch it out. Feel the space that you're creating in that shoulder cuff. Reach it out, stretch, and bend. Again, work on not locking that elbow, just stretching from that upper arm. Let's do 4 more. Stretch from the upper arm. Reach, sweep it out, and back in. 3 more times. Shoulder melts down, neck gets longer because the crown of the head is getting taller. Last 2, stretch it out, reach, and in. 1 more time, stretch it out, reach, and in. Switch sides. Left hand holds on, bend that elbow right to your side, reach it straight out to your side. So we're not forward of the body, we're not back of the body with that arm, we're straight out to the side. So in between 2 panes of glass the entire time. And again, being that we're just doing one arm, careful that you don't sway your spine or sway your hips or shoulders the opposite direction, right? We want to stay nice and stable with our core, with our whole body, tall like a building. Let's do 5 more. Exhale, shoulder melts as you reach, stretch. Inhale, exhale, feel that upper arm bone stretch out of the shoulder cuff, reach. And in. 3 more. Exhale, pull that low belly tight to the spine. And in. Find that stabilization. Reach it out for 2. And in. 1 more time. Reach it out. And in, and rest. We're coming back down to all 4s. Right hand holds the weight. Remember your nice posture here. So on all 4s, hands underneath your shoulders, knuckles of that right hand down to the ground. And now we are going to reach the right arm straight out to the side and then right back down. Now this is a little bit more of a challenge for stabilization, but especially on that right shoulder blade. So as you open the arm out, feel the back of the shoulder blade do the work. So it's not about the hand, it's not about the elbow, it's about the back of the shoulder blade. And if you want to drop the weight completely, go right ahead, just to tap into the right muscles. It's a very small muscle. We're going to be here for 7 more and back down. Find that posture for 6, and down. Feel your abs open up for 5. Exhale, pull the belly in for 4, like you're stamping the head of the weight to the ceiling for 3. Try not to squish the upper back for 2, so we're not scrunching the back. Last 1, and in. Good, now going to the other side, I'm going to turn myself around so you can see. So from here, left hand holds that weight. You're going to reach it straight out to the side and back down. Straight out. So you should feel your abdominals here supporting you. Pull the belly in, knit the ribs, and back down. Keep pushing your right palm into the floor so that you stay lifted and you're not sinking your chest into your right arm, right? So that right arm is pushing away into the floor as you lift that left arm out to the side. Let's do 5 more with that left arm. Try not to squish and squeeze the shoulder blades together. It's not about pinching the shoulder blades. It's about stretching that arm bone away from your shoulder cuff. Reach it out for 2. Inhale down. 1 more time. Reach it out. Inhale down and rest. Shake it out. Come all the way up. Shake out those shoulders. Nice job. We're going to do one last set here. I'm still going to stick with one weight. I almost grabbed 2, but I'm going to still stick with 1. So right hand holds on. You're going to bend your elbow, making that 90-degree angle. Elbow in line with your shoulder. A little bit of biceps again and a little bit of triceps. So you're going to open the arm, extend it, and bend it back in like your fingertips are going to touch your ear. You inhale to open, exhale to bend. So we're working on shoulder stabilization again, right? Our lower part of our arm is moving. The upper part of our arm is not. So stabilizing in the shoulder cuff as the lower part of our arm moves, right? Opening the elbow and bending it. Inhale. Can you keep your elbow shoulder height? And now as we get tired here, sometimes we creep that shoulder up. So draw the shoulder down and just simply find that shoulder stabilization. If you need to drop the weight, go for it. We're here for 5. Inhale. Exhale, pull in for 4. Inhale to open, exhale, pull in for 3. Inhale, exhale, bend for 2. Inhale, 1 more time, exhale, bend. Rest that arm down, switch sides. Left elbow up, in line with your shoulder. We open, exhale to pull in. Inhale to open. Feel like your arm bone is resting on a tabletop. It can't lower, it can't lift. It's just relaxing on that tabletop. And your shoulders melting down. Think of your armpit going down to the floor. Pull it in. Inhale, stretch it out. Exhale, pull it in. And when you straighten that arm out, we're not locking. Remember, we want to keep it in the muscle. Once we lock the joints, we take it out of the muscle. We want to keep that muscle on for that stability. Okay. Inhale to open. Exhale, pull in 5. Inhale, check in with your posture. Exhale, pull in 4. Inhale, open. Exhale, pull in 3. Inhale, open, exhale, pull in 2. 1 more time, open and pull in and rest. Go ahead and set that weight down. Give yourself a big shoulder roll. We're going to reach the right arm across the body and just take a little stretch. And then with that same right arm, just do a little tricep stretch, reaching right between your shoulder blades with your fingertips. And then release, other side, left arm across the body. And then take that same left arm, reach it back if you can, if your shoulder allows it. And then release down. We're going to do some shoulder or arm circles, up, back, and around. 2 more times this direction. Just open up. Find a nice straight spine. Try not to sway the body. And then we're going to go the other direction. So press back all the way up and around. Staying nice and tall with the spine. Just circle those arm bones inside of your shoulder cuffs. And do 1 more. And all the way down. Nice job, you guys. Thanks so much. And I hope that you enjoyed that shoulder and arm routine. And again, you choose what weights you want to use. If you want to start with no weights and work on range of motion, that's completely fine. And then each time you do it, you can either add a little bit of weight or maybe add more repetitions is totally fine too. Or do both arms at once. If you're feeling like you have that good body awareness for both arms working at the same time, go for it. Challenge yourself. Thanks so much, and I'll see you soon.